market. That is his job. And an entrepreneur's job is exactly the same thing. What I loved about Laurelsport was the opportunities. Laid out a master plan for that whole estate, build the roads, put the gardens and this and that. They had no water. Finally, we found some water at Laurelsport, and that opened up the whole thing. We built our own little irrigation system, planted thousands of trees. It was absolutely sports grounds, ladies' park, mixed park, children's park, all that. It was, for a boy or a young man of 25 years, it was an absolute dream. Well, man plans, God commands. 1972, a time for change came, out of the blue. The Dawood family had a massive problem. We had just put up Dawood Hercules, and Dawoods and Hercules were fighting. So they couldn't solve the problem. It went on for about 3-4 months, couldn't get it solved. And so the senior members of Dawood family said, put Razzak Dawood in that position. I didn't know. I was asked, the phone calls came several times, you must attend the board meeting. I said, fine. I turned up in Lahore, attended the board meeting, and right there and then in the board meeting, I was made the resident director, not the CEO, the resident director. Didn't think too much about it. In the evening, ready to catch the flight back to Laurelsport, and my uncle says, where are you going? I'm going back to Laurelsport, my job. He says, forget it, you're here now. You can't go. So, fine, I didn't go. Next day, here am I, sitting in a room in the office of Dawood Hercules. And so overnight, I had to leave my passion, my dream, and lost Laurelsport. From the rural, you got to the urban. From a wide canvas that was one was working on and loving every minute of it, you're down to a narrow canvas inside Dawood Hercules. Now, a different ball game starts. You start learning what is corporate struggle. What is the requirements of a board? What are the articles in association for? What are these agreements? Technical service agreement, know-how agreement, basic agreement. All that now I had to learn and forget all the things that I had done in Laurelsport. Dawood Hercules, no problems of marketing, no problems of production, no problems of cash flow. It was a pretty good thing. I had to work on trying to solve the problem between Dawoods and Hercules. And what an experience it was of trying to find and match the cultures of a local businessman and the culture of a multinational American company. Dawood had changed their member, and I was assigned. Hercules changed their member, and an old man, Mr. John Egan, came, and we looked at each other and says, well, we have the task of sorting out this ugly problem. It was solved. It was solved. It took us 1.5 years to solve it. And the tensions, I can't tell you, were quite something. You had to do things. You had to win the hearts of the Americans. You had to maintain the confidence of the family members, and that was quite a task because the two sides insisted on different standards. How do you bridge the gap? One small issue, my uncle insisted this we will not agree. to the Hercules people. Hercules people said, you cannot do this. If a Dawood becomes a CEO, he cannot do this for 6 months without the permission of the Hercules people. Dawood's got their back up and said, we'll never agree to it. Okay? So here I am in the middle. I went to the Hercules people. Look, if there's a Dawood CEO, it's going to be me. Withdraw your conditions. I promise you I'll honor it. That I will not do it without your permission. But accept it. John, I'm giving you my word. Give your word to Dr. Tofen back in Wilmington. He did it, came back, said, yes, we accept. I told the Dawoods, they've accepted. Wow, well done. Now sign the agreement, or we're ready for it. We go to America to sign the agreement. Again, clash. Oh my God. My uncle jumps out and rushes from Wilmington back to New York. Hercules walk out of the room. No way will we agree. Finally, going to both sides, getting them together, and then finally getting them to sign. The Hercules people said, you guys are too unpredictable. You sign first, and then we will sign. Wow. Rush off to New York, Waldorf Astoria Hotel, go to my uncle and said, oh, this is it. He said, do you feel it's a good agreement? I said, yes, it's a good agreement. Have you checked this out? I said, yes. Check this out? Yes. Check this out? Yes. All right, I'll sign it. So the Dawoods signed. Rushed down to Wilmington, Hercules, sign it. They signed it, we had the deal. I become the CEO, and finally it's all sorted out. So you're running the company, and as I said, the company had no real problems in the sense that the plant ran very well, no marketing problems, there's always a shortage of fertilizer, and cash was there, so what was the problem? So here I am, working in Dawood Hercules, and two things happened that were to shape my future, and I didn't know it. First was, I got an opportunity to learn engineering, design, process, equipment, maintenance, and I saw for the first time at close hand the quality of Pakistani engineers. Mahmood, Gohar, Ghafoor Qureshi, Jamil Khan, Ahad Farooqi, all of them, absolute champions. Hey, all of them much, much older than myself. I am now 29 years old. So it gave me an opportunity to learn and learn and learn. Every time the plant would be opened up, the machines would open up. Gohar Sahab, what is it? What's the heat exchanger? Please show it to me. You show me a heat exchanger, show me this, show me that, show me inside the columns, pressure vessels, this, that, turbines were opened up. And I was learning and learning and learning. Learning because I wanted to. I had no idea what was in store for me. A very important day in my life came was when we opened up an important Siemens machine. And the Siemens engineer came from Germany and said, this machine cannot run. He said, you've got to change the turbine casing. I said, how long would it take you to supply a new one? Oh, 6 months. I said, 6 months? We keep a fertilizer plant shut for 6 months? The company will bust. He said, sorry. Okay. Got all the Pakistanis together, all these champions that I just named. They said, oh, bakwas karta hai. Absolute rubbish. We will box it up and we will start the plant and kuch nahi hoga. Aap dekhna. Okay, fellas, I don't know. You're the guys. Boxed up. As soon as the plant started, we placed another order, which would come